Hi, my name is Maggie. I'm a BCBA and I've been licensed for 4 years. I have been working with adult populations for 2 years, but this is my first time collaborating with the day center.
Hi, my name is Kayla. I'm an RBT and I have been for 2 years under Maggie. I have been working with adult populations for 2 years under Maggie's supervision. This is going to be my first time as well working to help a day center. I'm excited to join and help everybody out.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin. I'm so excited to be working with you all. A little background about me. I've been working as a BCBA in the OBM field for about 5 years. OBM, if you aren't familiar, stands for Organizational Behavior Management, which basically just means using behavior principles on large groups instead of just individual clients. My experience is primarily working with clinics or larger healthcare facilities to improve their efficiency or fix systems that might need some help. I do a lot of work with state departments when clinics get cited for various items, so that is why I'm here with you all today. I'm looking forward to working with you guys and chatting with you today.
Hi everyone, my name is Deja and I'm currently a registered behavior technician here at the Day Center. Just a little background information about myself. I have been working in the field of ABA for about 3.5 years now. I started off as a registered behavior technician working with children who were between the ages of 2 to 6 years old. And that kind of took a shift about 2.5 years into my career. I started to work with adults at a different day center. So I do have the experience in the field working with these adults as well. Right now, I do work directly under Caitlin, who is the BCBA here, and I am very excited to be working with y'all.
Hello, pleasure to be here with everybody today. My name is Solomon, and I am a life coach here at the Draper Day Services Program. A little bit of information about myself. I started off in the ABA field as an RBT during my undergraduate program. So I did a internship for about 2 years as an RBT. So I have a pretty in-depth understanding of the foundations of ABA, consequences and positive and negative reinforcement, elopement, and things of that nature. So as a life coach here at Draper, I primarily assist individuals with the transitions to their community programs and their employment programs. I answer any questions, and I have counseling sessions with these individuals who are here and who need it or who request it. I meet with the BCBA and RBTs, about any amendments or any changes that need to be made to the IEPs or behavior plans. Yeah.
So when it comes to the intervention plan, it is very important for us to provide you with an explanation as to what everything on this plan means, hopefully what it leads to as well, and just to give you a definition of everything so you can have a better understanding for yourself as to what it is that we will be doing here. So when it comes to the materials that we are utilizing positive reinforcement and contingency contract, as well as an understanding as to what the on-task behaviors are. So a quick definition of positive reinforcement: it can be defined as a concept and operant conditioning that is centered around rewarding or giving individuals preferred items or activities for successful completion of appropriate behaviors or tasks. Through positive reinforcement, positive behaviors are built by successive completions of the behavior or approximations. And a nice example of this would be a student is prompted to finish a math worksheet to receive their computer time. Once the student completes the worksheet, they're given access to the preferred item or activity. So a contingency contract can be defined as an agreement between practitioners and the individual who has been formally diagnosed with autism, stating the reinforcers for successful completion of the task behaviors, the specific behaviors, and the schedule for delivery. So in short words, pretty much this is a written agreement between all parties involved, just stating that they understand what the goals are of this treatment, how the treatment will be implemented, and they are in agreement with this, giving us the permission in order to move forward with this process. So it is important for us to ensure that you have an understanding as to when we will know that the contingency contract has been successfully completed. So a student and a practitioner agree that as long as the student engages in on-task behaviors, which can include, well, in this case, includes attending the workshops and the career programs, this will result in access to the previously agreed on reinforcement that was stated in the contract. And unsuccessful tries or failing to complete parts of the contract could potentially result in some of the consequences that were laid out in the contract. And like I said before, this contract is laying out everything that is in that intervention plan. And the consequences would more than likely be the loss of access to a desired reinforcer. So here at the Draper Career Services program, we decided to go with the contingency contracting as it provides the creator with the flexibility to outline positive reinforcements for the individual and consequences for not displaying the outlined behaviors. We believe that contingency contracting would be the most cost effective, time effective, and easy to understand concept for all of the individuals involved attending classes and supervisors at community placement opportunities.
This is intervention and explanation continued. So a part of our intervention for contingency contracting is making sure that the administrator and the client both understand the expectations of the contingency contract. So for the administrator, that's going to look like you understanding the reinforcement that they're going to receive for completing the contract. And for the client, that means completely understanding what, for in this case, on task behaviors look like. So that would be attending to the task or prompt that has been instructed. And we also want to talk about what that does not look like. So you would not be engaging in any sort of other behaviors unless permitted. The great thing about contingency contracting is that it's very individualized because each individual that you come in contact with is going to have a unique way and unique abilities of what they are capable of. And for the day center, it's very important that these individuals are able to acquire life skills and be integrated into the community employment because only 16% of individuals with a cognitive disorder are able to access these type of services. So it's extremely important that at our day center, we are making the most of our time and making the most of their time. For data collection for our contingency contracting, we are going to be logging frequency data of each member for their attendance to the program. This is going to look like a simple sheet of paper with each member's name on it, the date, and the class that they are attending. At the beginning of the session, a designated person will be marking off who is in participation of the class that day. It's also important to remember that we do want to see some baseline data for this so that we know our contingency contracting is working. So we'll start 1 week before the installation phase and then continue throughout the installation phase. And by tracking this data, you'll be able to see a functional relationship between the implementation and participation for members.
I'm going to be explaining training for stakeholders. So the stakeholders are actually going to be the job and life coaches. They are going to be indirect stakeholders, because they are not an RBT nor a BCBA. So they will be indirect stakeholders. To begin training the job and life coaches, will be given an explanation as to what parts are in the intervention. They will have an explanation that is clear and concise as to what the intervention is and what the parts are. They will as well have an explanation on what positive reinforcement is and what a contingency contract is, which are two of the sort of main things of this intervention that we will be using throughout. And this will help to ensure that they have an understanding of everything that they're implementing. When the job and life coaches have an understanding of the intervention, they will be given step-by-step instructions on how to implement the intervention. The job and life coaches will receive a video model on how to complete the step-by-step instructions as well. So here's training continued. The step-by-step instructions are as follows. Initially, clients will sign a contingency contract stating that they will attend the job and life classes. This will serve as motivation to the clients to attend the classes, and also will have the classes be served as a requirement. So for the step-by-step instructions, 1, review data from previous days if there's any available. 2, read through the procedure provided. Ask questions immediately if you have any. This will ensure that there is a good understanding and the job and life coaches are prepared for each class by reading through. Once clients begin to come into class, take attendance. Take attendance again when class is about to start. This ensures that nobody has to miss out on the attendance. Attendance will be taken by indicating a check mark next to each participant's name that attends the corresponding session. Next, number 5, start class once attendance is taken. And then number 6, if clients are engaging within your class and are answering questions or are asking questions, you may provide them with reinforcement as soon as possible. This is where sort of our positive reinforcement comes into play. So you may provide statements such as telling the students engaging in class, "Nice job," or "Great question." You may also provide candy that is preferred if you would like to help reinforce the client's engagement. So that will go ahead and be our step-by-step instructions.
So we already discussed the process for this program on a day-to-day, so I wanted to take some time to explain this intervention a little bit deeper, as well as how you can tweak it for individual needs once our consultation period is over. It's a super easy system. It can be adjusted however you need. So first I wanted to go over this sample attendance data sheet in the corner, so you can see what it looks like for when you're using it. This is done in Excel, and you'll notice that I've used the client initials instead of names. This is extremely important to ensure that you're staying in compliance with HIPAA. You can also password encode this document on your computer for an extra layer of protection. So you'll see here clearly that the various clients' attendance on each day that I have listed. What I've done is I've given each client 5 points for their attendance if they were there, and 0 points if they were not there. By doing this, we can see a clear trend of which clients are improving in their attendance and which are struggling to fulfill their contract obligations. You can see that there is the total points as well as a running total of how many reinforcement points that they've cashed in for their prizes. And then it also has a section for what's left in their bank that they can use to cash in for reinforcement prizes. So if we look at the individual clients, we can see that client AA is doing an absolutely wonderful job of attendance. If we skip over to client AC, I like to think of this client as a tier 2 client, which means that we've tried the tier 1 system for 2 sessions with no attendance, and then we conducted a preference assessment and their attendance shot right back up. If you look at client AB, I like to think of this as a tier 3 client in which they're definitely going to need some more one-on-one prompting to succeed. If we go to client AD, I see this as overall succeeding in attendance, but maybe they were sick for one day or absent for another reason, but overall they're doing a great job. I'll go over the tier system in the next slide, so I'll go over some more detail with that. I created the chart pretty easily just with an automated chart in Excel, so it will be easy to update for you guys when you're using it. To the right of that, you'll just see an example of a simple prize menu for the reinforcement. We're going to generate the first prize menu for you based on the responses from the students, but it's a good idea to always be monitoring this menu and updating it constantly. Making sure that you have the reinforcers readily available is also extremely important, and that these reinforcers are still reinforcing to the clients. Moving on to the tier system that we spoke on, I'm going to go over this super briefly. We're using a tier 1 system, which means the entire clinic is going to be evaluated for attendance in the life skills classroom. This is going to allow us to see who's participating easily and who might need some extra motivation. So similar to that chart that we just saw, the clients that are struggling to participate after they've signed their contract should be moved to a tier 2 system, which means you will have a sit down with them. It can be in a small group where you will discuss the reinforcement options and create personalized prize menus with them. Perhaps they aren't motivated by tangible items and they would be more motivated by something social, like helping the teacher with the instructions or getting extra breaks. All of this can be individualized in this level for sure. If they're still struggling to participate, a tier 3 system might be used, and this would look like a sit-down discussion with the student to show them their signed contract and remind them of the agreement that they've made. And then you would also evaluate the reinforcement here, and you might arrange for an escort to the life skills class or just scheduled reminders to go to the life skills class. My last note is just a reminder to remain creative. Reinforcement can come from anywhere. It doesn't just have to be tangible items. It could be themed days, spirit weeks, or even the opportunity to pie a teacher in the face, something funny. You know your students best, and I would love for you to feel empowered to capitalize on that. And it can be easily adaptable to whatever your students' needs are.
So for addressing needs of our scenario is number 3 that we've chosen. Issues is that we do not have enough attendees to the job and life classes. So using this attendance will allow for attendees and non-attendees to be counted for. So that way we can know and we can track the frequency of the attendance. The contingency contract will allow for the clients attending to receive positive reinforcement in hopes to increase their attendance of the classes, as well as to push and give incentive to those attendees to join the classes. Positive reinforcement is added to help encourage and increase participation within the class. By having this, it can help to essentially ensure that the clients are taking in the knowledge of the classes, which is what they need. It is crucial that these clients are attending these classes as they need to learn what the job and life coaches are teaching. Considering that our clients are adults, they need to learn more on how to work and be in society, whether that be on their own or with assistance.